and they got it all through their history, and that's how they get their rocks off. But they ain't said that over the pulpit. They don't.
Hi, advocates, and welcome back to the A Podcast. I'm your co-host, Yaya Don.
I am your host, J.R. Knight.
And we are so grateful you chose to spend some time with us today. If you're new to our space, a special welcome to you. This is a sanctuary where we have real, raw, and deeply loving conversations. Mm-hmm. Our focus here is on the beautiful, resilient community of those of us who are aging with HIV. We're living proof that our stories don't stop with a diagnosis. They expand, they deepen, and they deserve to be celebrated.
Amen.
Now, in today's episode, it's incredibly close to our hearts. It's part of our ongoing anti-stigma campaign, Love is Greater Than Stigma. We know that stigma isolates, but love liberates. And today, we are taking that message directly to a place that has historically held both immense comfort and some deep pain for our community, the Black church. We're sitting down with the Black pastor, Pastor G, who is currently navigating their own journey toward full HIV advocacy. You didn't know that, did you?
Okay.
We're going to talk about what it takes to move past the old cultures and how we can build sanctuaries that truly protect, celebrate, and love our Black MSMs, our cisgender women, and our transgender women. So pull up a chair, open your heart, and get ready for a conversation filled with grace, accountability, and healing.
Yes.
And with that, please welcome to the space, Pastor G.
Hey, welcome everyone to this conversation. I'm excited to be here.
We are excited to have you.
I always say, this is the way you conquer things. You got to have conversations.
Absolutely.
You got to have conversations. You got to be okay with the uncomfortable conversations. One of the things that she said, I didn't know I was being running fully HIV. What did you say?
Advocacy.
Advocacy, because that's not an intentionality of mine. Because at VDC, Village Disciple Center, 4353 Southampton.
Oh, plug.
7523
I'm not ashamed of it. We have a mentality, right? Open hands, full hearts, kingdom first mentality. And so when you having open hands and you having full hearts, you don't know what's coming your way. What I need you to be ready to do is have a full heart to accept anything coming your way, and then make sure you have a kingdom first mentality. So that's not one of our intentions, because when you come in there, you're going to feel the love. When you come into that space, you're going to feel not like a diagnosis of anything like that, because we don't have that type of mentality. So I know I don't know we're doing that, because we just gonna love people when they come through the door. That's just it.
You answered the question. You answered a couple of the questions already with those statements
the
alone.
G in Pastor G stands for glory.
Glory.
Okay.
My goodness.
Hey, y'all heard him.
I want, typically when we start off our podcast, before we get into all the heavy stuff, we like to humanize our guests. So I'm wondering if you can share with us a song, and this could be gospel or secular, because like we are human, that instantly lifts your spirit and get you ready to face a tough day.
And do not break down with the electric slide, Pastor.
No.
Okay.
We're
gonna have to do it together.
Yes. There's a great psalmist. He says, "Catch me outside if you think I'm a punk."
Catch me outside.
And then open the trunk.
I don't think I was
And
ready.
then they said, "We're never scared. I ain't never scared. What? I ain't never scared. What? I ain't never scared." And then I follow it up.
Weak.
I follow it up with Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound.
What?
Because I was blind.
Okay,
But now I see.
Okay, I see what happened there.
You see what happened?
I see what happened there.
Because it has to be a balance.
Of course.
Because I'm not playing with the enemy when he comes. But when love
But you
comes my
asking for
way,
grace and mercy.
grace and mercy
On the
come
other side of it.
because I don't know what I'm about to do. I don't know what I'm about to do, so I'm asking for grace and mercy for what I'm about to do. But then also grace and mercy for the things that I might mess up on, and and I might not do it the right way, and so I need all of that. I tell them my soundtrack when it comes to the enemy is definitely not slow singing and flower bringing. You got to come with it, and let them know. Oh, I'm awake.
They are the enemy for a reason.
That's it.
Y'all
My
heard
goodness. Okay. That is an interesting song choice. Like it has me stuttering, but I'm for it though.
Yes.
I love to see it. Okay, so let's get right into some questions.
Yes.
Because I definitely want to ask you this: what was a specific turning point for? Am I on the right?
You're
okay,
right.
okay. Because I'm like, I don't want to take us too fast. But what's a specific turning point or conversation that made you realize that you couldn't stay silent?
Right. I would say, being a pastor and actually like hearing, right? Hearing what members were saying, hearing what people from the outside. I'm not one of those, hey, I'm just going to sit back and just talk to anybody that's inside my congregation. I need to hear what's outside because we're a growing ministry. And so I want to be out in the streets and understand, because if there's a great pulling away for various reasons, not just for the topic that we're talking about today, but various reasons. And so when you get out there and you start really communicating with people, I need to know the ins and outs of the why. And when I'm hearing that, I felt shunned, I felt pushed away, I felt like beneath, I'm like, hold on now, it's a Deacon so-and-so been beating Sister Mary for a long time. And when they say, well, how do you do? Listen, when it comes to that, he in the same boat of shame and everything. You can't be out here hitting up on women and being at the front trying to take the money and everything else.
Eyes wide shut.
Right. So I'm not going to just take the easy road and that's I think I'm getting ahead of a conversation on that, but we take the easy road and pick out the stuff that society or culture says it. But there's a lot of other things that we want to be quiet about. Deacon Sims, and I apologize if y'all know some Deacon Sims, but Deacon Sims been tatted up for a long time. So there's some stories behind that tat. There's some stories behind that we don't even have no more of that church. That's why I'm getting what they call the deaconess. There it goes.
Yeah.
So there's a story behind why the deaconess is so quiet and why she don't think she has a voice, and so we should be just as loud and boisterous in one area of life instead of just trying to be loud when it comes to sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So I'm trying to create that culture that, okay, I understand what you're saying that's been happening, but here's a place. And I just got to be one soul at a time. Here's a place that when you come in, we're not asking you about your past. We're trying to help and support you in your future. And that's what it's all about. A lot of times we talk about traditions. I'm asking them, what tradition are you talking about? You're talking about the 40s, 60s, or something. When you talk to a tradition about me and talk about the gospel, I'm going back thousands of years ago. That tradition. When you got Jesus who's out here in the streets and they wondering why is he sitting with the tax collectors? Why is he sitting over there? Out of sight is out of mind. We say it all the time. So he said, hey, if I'm going to be a place of transformation, I'm going to be a place of safety. First, I got to develop a relationship. And I can't develop a relationship if I'm keeping you at arm's length. So let me pull on up. And then we got to understand when we pull up and have that conversation, that's when we can have the opportunity for other conversations. So in Jesus, he healed lepers. He went blind, see lame. He didn't ask them, why you been sitting down here lame and paralyzed and stuff? It don't matter. Take your mat up and get up and come on and walk.
Say that, Pastor.
Well, I want to ask you though, Pastor G. So how do you balance these types of conversations where you have a broken or hurt individual coming into a space for healing and recognition, and they are very past present, and you want to have a conversation that is very future forward. Like, how do you balance the dynamics of that? Because I could imagine, we all have like, and I'm thinking about how when we do the work that we do here, where we find it incredibly important to meet people where they are. It's like the thing,
Right.
to meet people where they are, and then so you have broken people with, again, like I say, incredibly complicated past, and they want to talk about that, and then you have a very future type of direction. How do you balance that?
Well, I try to be upfront and honest with the communication at the beginning. And one thing that we say at our church, there's a standard. There's a standard that we follow. Which is the Bible. I'm not gonna apologize for it. I'm not gonna move it. I'm not gonna preach around it. But when we wake up in the morning, we all trying to reach that standard. We all trying to do it. Stop lowering the goal. And what I tell you, what was that thing? I said we get out here and we get on the Fisher Price goal doing 360s and slamming. But if you put it up to regulation, can you really dunk? Now it's easy to go ahead and sit up here and forgive somebody, that you know that you got to have a relationship. But what about that one that really burns you and it burns you over and over again? Can you really do 70 times 7?
I want you to stop looking at my window, Pastor.
So it's just those type of conversations. Let me be honest with where the standard is and this and that, but then understand that wherever you are, we're here to be that support system. I believe that salvation is one thing, discipleship is another. And discipleship is based off a journey.
Right.
And that journey, and when you go on discipleship and journey, there's times that you're gonna be up, times you're gonna be down. But what really holds that thing together is love and trust. And so, and I tell a lot of folks, in the Black church, the first thing is about same gender love. I'm still trying to learn all of that because I don't never offend nobody. So I don't offend nobody. So
you still trying to learn is a win.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to learn all of those terminologies. But even then, when they come in, first of all, how you assuming and making assumptions about where they've been and where they're going. You're making a whole lot of assumptions, and then you're not seeing the person from who they are. You're seeing from with blinders on. You're seeing them with a filter on. Take the filter off. Take the filter off and just see the person from who they really are, and then try to go from there. And then it's like, well, I seen them out before. I seen her out before. They saying that. I said, but maybe that's not what they came in here to get fixed. And then, and first of all, when you trying to fix something, we all in the AA meeting together trying to figure out how to get it. Well, you got this issue, I got this issue, they got this issue. We all better be concentrating on our own issues and supporting each other through the change. But don't be trying to make what I want you to change, and now trying to make that so priority. Maybe that's not what you came in here about. Absolutely. And you trying to make me stop eating my 2 pieces of chicken. I want 2 pieces of chicken right now. That's not what I came in here. I got forgiveness issues.
You better leave that chicken alone.
I know. I'm gonna try to leave it alone.
Okay.
But I don't went down to 1 piece.
Okay.
and then I switched over to the white meat because they said it got less grease in it.
I'm so proud of you, Pastor. I'm so proud of you.
But the dog meat got flavor. My goodness.
But hopefully, with all my analogies, you following what I'm saying. That we all have those particular issues, and what I don't want to do is label you by whatever issue, especially not an issue that I'm trying to impose on you. What I want to do is go ahead and call you by your name.
Yes.
What is your name? And what we got to understand, some people, life has hit them so hard for whatever reason, they forgot their name. And before you try to get in there and do this and do that, and again, don't apologize for the gospel, this and that. Before you even get to that point, I tell my members, before you even get to inviting them to church, ask them what their name is. Ask them what they want to be. Go out and play spades with them, and make sure they can play spades, because we play spades at our church. So don't be bringing them people that don't know how to play no spades. We play dominoes over there. We like to eat over there and cook. Make sure y'all do all of that, and then invite them. You know what I'm saying? So get to know the people before that, and then if they feel like this is a safe enough space to get in, that's fine. And then if that certain conversations up where we disagree, because we always want to talk about same gender and transgender and all that. Those are easy points of opposition, but there's other things that we don't agree on, right? And so there's other things that we can go on. And I know I talked to my pastor friends and they say, you know, how do you handle that? I said, I got 99 problems at my church, and that ain't at the top of my my priority list.
That's my pastor.
Yeah.
So it's and if that conversation ever had to be had, it's going to be held behind closed doors. It's going to be held in confidence, because again, this discipleship journey is a personal one, and the only thing I'm supposed to do as the pastor is to provide that love through it. And then we can have that conversation. And then what I tell everybody: make sure you in a house of worship and village, if you love God like that you feel safe enough to walk that journey with, because you can go anywhere and say that you believe in Christ and be baptized and go in the water and come back up. You can do that any place, but when it comes to church and it comes to discipleship, you got to have you a village around there. Go somewhere and have a village. If it ain't at VDC, I'm praying and hoping and if you need help, to find you some place that it is. But at the same time, do you have the culture?
Some congregations, though, rule the direction of the church. And so what my question for you, though, is that, like, for pastors who are afraid to speak up. The sheep running the shepherd. Is that what you just said? This is not unfamiliar to you. You had to have experienced this as a pastor.
But there's leaders like the sheep running the shepherd.
Okay, so, and because of that, some pastors are afraid, they're terrified even, to speak up, because they may be afraid that they'll say the wrong thing.
Yes.
And they'll get backlash from the congregation.
Or the other side.
Or, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what would you say to them as being at what seems to me as an unapologetic pastor?
Yes.
That's right.
What do you say to those individuals?
They said it teaches us, when we read all the same Bible, that he teaches us that the sheep will know my voice. And if you are the voice and you are the shepherd and you're guiding them, you can't take them too fast in what you have not. You can't take them somewhere that you have not publicly shown them, right? And you haven't publicly said, or you haven't developed the culture to say it. And you have to understand that when you are trying to develop a culture and a piece, it has to be intentional. It has to be spoken with clarity, and it has to be said multiple times. It can't just be spoken one time and this and that, because I've seen pastors who, like you said, pander down to the congregation, and when we have these conversations later, one of the things I tell them is, "What did you say?" Well, I didn't want this side to get mad. I didn't want this side to get mad. Again, what did you say? Because your silence was consent, or your silence was against.
Yeah.
Either you
because
consented
silence
to
speaks.
Yes, it does. You either consented to what the congregation has said, or you went ahead and took a back seat in what you didn't say, and now is going against somebody else. And so it's and the only way you do it, I tell them, go down swinging. Go ahead and state what you mean and mean what you say. Because we see it all the time. And when you start talking about all of these laws and everything else, nobody changes anything until it comes to their front door or to their particular leader front door. And it's like, why did it take all that? Right is right, wrong is wrong. Don't apologize for it, but make sure that you are integral enough to stand for it. And so I know for me, it's just one of those things. Like I'm not trying to argue this thing that we follow. I'm not in this faith, in this theology. I'm not trying to argue that. But like I tell folks, what I'm not going to do is let folks be mistreated. Because that's what this book tells me not to let happen. I'm not going to let things be swept underneath the rug and you know that it's wrong. There's a movie, Boys in the Hood. I tell people a lot of times, this is where I'm at when I have conflicting, at the end of the road, it might be conflicting views, but at the same time, Ricky was in the car. Right? And he was, is that Ricky? Yeah, he was in the car.
I'm taking your word for this one.
You didn't see it? I'm taking your card. Okay. You ain't seen it, I'm taking your card. Okay. Boys in the Hood, South Central. Put it on your list.
Okay, all right. Let me write that down.
Please. I done lost focus on what I'm trying to say. He ain't
Ricky
seen
was
Boys
in the car.
Okay. And so remember, and they was about to go get him because they no, Ricky died. What? Anyway, they was gonna get their revenge for Ricky. And at the end of the movie, they're riding, and Doughboy's driving, and they riding down there, and they finna get him, and he's thinking about this, and he's with everything that's about to happen, but then there always has to be a safe point, and this is what I say in advocacy and trying to get allies. There, and I think this is what's missing. We can be riding in the car. Okay, yeah, ain't no alcohol in it. We can just be riding together. And
Holy water is in that.
And we're riding together, and I'm for make sure you're not mistreated. My wife, she's a doula. We were for reproductive rights and having choice, because we got free choice in the Bible. I'm for all of that. But now, once we get to a certain point, he tells Doughboy, let me out the car. Let me out the car. And what's so beautiful about that is he was able, Doughboy finally, he didn't let him out the car, he drove up. But when he finally let him out the car and they went on and still fought the fight, when they came back in the morning, they were still brothers. And he understood him to say, you know what? He couldn't go with me to finish the job and actually commit the murder. Because, they wound up killing him. They killed him real bad.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I'm sorry. But they wound up killing him. And they went in there and finished that fight, but they were still able to come back in the morning and be brothers. And I believe for most ministries, they can't explain it that way, but that's where the apprehension comes, because once I'm in the car with you, you want to take me all the way. And it's like, I feel you, but that's one point.
We need to make a pit stop.
I gotta get out. I gotta get out. But I still want you to do what you do. I still want you to. I do that. But at this particular point, and then we want to make that. That's the point when he got out and then he was an op and he's an enemy, and I want to cancel him and this and that. No, understand where the level is where we got to get out, and then still understand I can support you all the way. I'm gonna forget the marches, but at our church we done had plenty of conversations around HIV, same gender, and we have all those conversations. And one thing we say at our church, and I forgot the summit that it was, the Afia Center hosted it there at our church there, and that was the thing that we kept explaining. I am an ally for you. I don't want nobody to mistreat you. I don't want nobody beating you up in the street. I don't want nobody saying you can't go in here, you can't go in there. I'm good with all of that. But now it's like, okay, now you support me, now you supporting all this. Okay, now there's this theology that I didn't write. And that there's a standard in here that like I said before, it's here. We're all trying to get there. I'm not condemning, I'm not saying anything, I'm not vilifying you, but there's a certain point of agreement that we can disagree, but it's okay to disagree and not sit up here and say that I'm not for you. I am for all of that.